one of the most gifted surveillance specialists ever to graduate from Kent. Ran one of our interrogation black sites for a while, and I tell you, those prisoners folded like lawn chairs. I couldn't believe it when she left the agency to go into politics, of all things.
Well, Vidal is nothing if not unpredictable.
I'd read her file, of course. Parents were political, fought on the side of the junta. And Tamara always was a firebrand. Still, talk about wasted potential.
Well, you'll be happy to know that she still dabbles in the dark arts.
Oh? How's that?
You already know Kronstadt R&D invests heavily in surveillance tech. Well, I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but Tamara Vidal represents one of our biggest private sponsors, and she's been instrumental in developing a cutting-edge new line of nanodrones.
Is that a fact? And who might this client be?
You're the CIA. You figure it out. All I know is she played an unusually hands-on role as a technical advisor. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if she had her tiny spies buzzing around this place, recording everything we say.
Balls. I miss the Cold War.
Oh, it's her, all right. I'm good with faces.
I thought she'd be taller.
Everyone looks tall on a stage. She's changed her hair, but that's still Tamara Vidal.
Oh, shit. She had all the pundits shaking in their boots a few years back. What was her party called again?
Future Federation. It was a kind of a crypto-fascist movement promoting meritocratic corporatocracy with a splash of transhumanism to lure in the Silicon Valley types.
Sharp dresses, though.
At Pax Mundus, we did a report about the geopolitical ramifications should Future Federation ever get into office and trigger a regional surge to the right. But the party lost momentum when Vidal stepped down.
Was there some kind of scandal?
Nothing public. She just left. Must have gotten a better offer. You know how these firebrands are. Always ready to cash in some of that political capital for a corner office.
You ask me, the Constant must have lost his mind. Burnwood was in league with Grey.
She's responsible for killing how many of our people? How could she be a herald?
Maybe Vidal will trip her down the stairs. Those heels are an accident waiting to happen.
Don't hold your breath. Vidal is a true believer, fiercely loyal to the Constant. It must be why he chose her to show Burnwood the ropes. Figured the rest of us wouldn't forgive and forget so easily. Sneaky bastard.
The man didn't get to where he is by accident.
The Constant works in mysterious ways. I just don't get his fascination with this Burnwood woman.
She is brilliant. Perhaps even his equal.
So? All the more reason to keep her at arm's length.
That's not how he sees it. Burnwood is passionate, and passion can be directed. People who want to change the world are the easiest to corrupt.
I say it's a trick. He wants something from her. Probably that assassin of hers.
Nah, there's more to it. Burnwood went up against the Constant and lost. But she came too close for comfort, and now winning is not enough. He doesn't just need to beat her, he needs to convert her.
Sounds like an unhealthy fixation, if you ask me. She kidnapped him, for Christ's sakes. You sure it's not just a case of Stockholm Syndrome?
Oh, this is the Constant we're talking about. Don't worry. He's got Vidal watching Burnwood's every move. That girl has eyes in places I didn't even know existed.
That's something at least.
Lots of people have mixed feelings about retirement. That's probably it.
Yates loves a good party. Plus, everyone knows he's not actually retiring. Guys like him never do. It was that letter earlier. He was all smiles up until then. Something about a late addition to the guest list.
Burnwood, Diana. Who's she?
Not a clue. But Yates doesn't usually get upset with people. He just gets hungry.
I'll run an ID check. It's probably an ex-lover.
Because you're not an idiot. Let's just humor him. Yates likes his little games. Don't be long.
You got my message.
You'd never get caught on camera. Not unless you wanted to be seen. So what's the play?
You're not the only one who's been busy, 47. I'm this close to becoming the next Constant. I'll be able to dismantle Providence from the inside. Only one man stands in my way. Don Yates. That weasel was the partner's legal counsel for years. He's the top candidate. But remove him from the playing field.
It won't work. If Edward suspects...
I will convince him you acted alone. Retaliation for Grey. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
The herald, Tamara Vidal. She has eyes everywhere, and they're all fixed on you. The plan won't work unless we take her out.
She never leaves my side for long. Whatever your plan is, I'll help you if I can.
You're sure about this?
As sure as I'll ever be. Here, I got you an invitation, just like old times. Come find me when it's done. Good luck, 47. Well, have at it, 47. Go on. We shouldn't be seen together. Like I said, we'll talk again when it's done. I didn't know you were the nostalgic type, 47. This is neither the time nor the place. Kindly point that elsewhere. I'm getting an unpleasant case of déjà vu, 47.
Tamara Vidal. I'm here for the tour, it seems.
Ah, yes. Miss Vidal. My apologies. I didn't recognize you. Let me sign you in.
Luther? Burnwood's flying solo. I want all eyes on. Let's see what she does. And Luther, redeploy the birds and key in on the party area. We're spread too thin. Too many blind spots. Anyone as much as sneeze in the wrong direction, I want to know about it.
There, all done. And I see your tour guide is none other than Gabriel Vargas, the state's chief winemaker. Well, this is a rare privilege. You and Don Yates must be very close.
Yes, about 400 meters, I should say.
Pardon me?
Never mind. I'll just wait here for my companion. Carry on.
Ah, Miss Birdwood? Mr. Yates said you'd be dropping by. Are you ready for the grand tour?
Who else will be attending?
Let me check. Just yourself, Miss Vidal, and Mr. Corvo Black, an employee of Mr. Yates from the New York office. He hasn't checked in with us yet. Would you like us to call him for you?
That won't be necessary. We'll go at our own pace.
No problem. I will tell Mr. Vargas, the chief winemaker, to expect your arrival. You are in for a treat.
What do you make of this?
Well, Yates wants us out of the way. There's a reason we're the only heralds going on this tour of his. He's buying time.
Hello.
Question is, for what? I wouldn't be surprised if he considers me a threat, but is he bold enough to defy Edwards?
He'd be a damn fool. But they don't call him cojones for nothing. I need to inform Edwards. Let him know something screwy is going on.
Don't. I know how to deal with the likes of Don Yates. The one we need to worry about is Corvo Black.
Yates' fixer. You know him?
ICA regular. I always suspected he was a middleman for Morgan, Yates and Cohn. I never took his contracts. Nasty piece of work. Below my standards. But plenty of my colleagues were less picky.
Well, they certainly got theirs. I wonder how your agent will feel if he saw you now.
He wouldn't. 47 is a weapon, and weapons don't judge. They go where they're pointed.
Oh, that's cold. I like you more already.
Let's rejoin the fun.
Fine by me.
I take it Edwards told you to chaperone me. Any idea why?
You know why. Trust is earned. Until Edwards is satisfied you're not sailing under a false flag, I will be his eyes and ears.
I meant why you.
I suppose I'm more perceptive than most.
You're also very loyal. My guess is Edwards' decision to make me a herald is not too popular with the other heralds.
We were at war about 5 minutes ago. Some people are funny like that.
But not you.
I admire the craft, the audacity. Everyone said Providence was untouchable and along you came. Way I see it, you did us a service.
That's cold. I like you more already.
Touché. Can I help you?
Uh-huh.
Why are you here, Burnwood?
Didn't you know? I have tango fever.
Thing is, nobody held a gun to your head. Why did you take his offer?
It was time for a change.
I'll say. Learning the truth about your partner. Harsh. But you see, I've read your ICA profile. All those years, you never took a contract for money or glory. Only to serve your personal brand of vigilante justice. Targeting those who rise above the law, except for yourself, of course, but hey, everyone's a hypocrite. Still, makes you wonder.
I was wasting my potential. I did garbage duty for 30 years, and where did it get me?
You've certainly kept the world's coroners on their toes.
Edwards is right. Power never dies. It only changes hands. And his hands, well, I figure the world could do a lot worse.
You admire him.
I thought resisting power was noble. But revolution is a young person's game. It's easy to tear down, much harder to build. I figure I can be Edward's conscience. God knows I have the practice. Did I pass your test?
It was hardly the Pledge of Allegiance, but it's the best I could expect from a free-thinking radical.
What do you believe in, Vidal?
I believe most people need to be led. They want it too, mind you. They've just been brainwashed by liberal humanism to think it's something to resist, something to be ashamed of.
Might is right. Is that it?
Any dumb mob or chest-pounding gorilla has might. I believe in merit, the rule of competence.
Hey, how you doing?
Those who are born with superior skills and intellect have a moral obligation to lead. It's as simple as that.
Wow. You're just a social media shitstorm waiting to happen, aren't you?
Don't talk to me about privilege. When the enemy is at the gates, you want the best man leading the charge, privileged or not. Questioning natural hierarchies is a peacetime luxury, and it only leads to chaos and decline. Providence must exist.
A necessary evil.
Nothing evil about it. No such thing.
I could use a drink.
Don't let me stop you.
Maybe it's
A glass of red, please.
Certainly,
I could do without that note.
May I present the House Cabernet Sauvignon? A melody of black currants and red cherries rises above a backdrop of leather and toast. On the palate, you'll taste juicy, dark berry fruit, along with a trickle of sweet spice and savory plums.
I'll pass. Find me a bottle of Pinot Noir, then we'll talk.
You heard the lady. I'm sure you have a Pinot in stock somewhere.
Cabernet.
Let's head back to the party.
Wherever you go, I go.
Does it bother you, being the odd one out?
What's that supposed to mean?
You're an outlier too, Tamara. You don't mingle with the other heralds. They're so impressed with themselves, aren't they? Ordering all those big-shot CEOs around, but not you. Where they see power and prestige, you see duty. That's why you're Edward's most trusted aide.
Jesus. You want to borrow money?
Tell me, was your heart set on becoming the next Constant? The thought must have crossed your mind.
Perhaps. But Edwards doesn't want an echo chamber. Must be why he hired you. You know, some of the heralds think we should have killed you right along with Lucas Grey.
And what do you think?
I don't like wasted potential. We don't see eye to eye on just about anything. But I do respect your ambition, your idealism, your ruthlessness. You just need to grow up and smell the coffee.
So, what's your take on Yates?
Charismatic, commanding, verbose like a Victorian novel. But all that's just a courtroom facade. He wants you to think he's all bark. Many a young plucky attorney has made that mistake. But behind that carefully crafted bon vivant exterior is a slick, backstabbing little sewer rat who'd never fight a battle that he hasn't already won.
Huh. Anything you don't like about him?
Don Yates is an opportunistic crony. He doesn't give a toss about Providence or what we stand for. The man has no convictions. All he cares about is power. That might have been up to code with the partners. Complacent fat cats just conserving the status quo. Edwards is different, though. A true visionary. Don't know what he sees in Yates, but the man is rarely wrong.
Rarely?
The vote is still out on you.
Don't expect me to
Hey,
catch you in when I'm
Yossa,
running the most prestigious
is dinner coming or
winery in
what?
Wyoming.
Almost there. We had a slight equipment mixed up, but my esteemed brother is taking care of it as we speak.
See that he does. A lot of hungry people here, especially me.
Hey, Future Federation, right? I think we cooked at your election party once.
That's right.
How was it?
Underspiced.
You're joking, right?
Humor me for a second. Gotta check in with security.
Fine by me. There's some sloppy wiring. Just an accident waiting to happen.
Occupational hazard. Eh, Burnwood?
Get any tips?
What's the state of affairs?
All is nice and quiet.
What has our friend been up to?
Burnwood was spotted engaging in conversation with a gentleman on the viewing platform, a Mr. Tobias Reaper. According to our background check, Reaper is a corporate liquidator based in the city of London. No registered place of residence.
Interesting. Keep digging. Tell me about your estranged partner. Why the number? 47?
It's all they gave him. I just made it a name.
What makes him tick? That particular investment, the Institute, was a bit of a black stain on our roster. But from what little I could gather from the Providence archive, his capacity for empathy was removed, along with his memories. What was your relationship?
47 is broken in many ways. But he is self-aware about it, and he tries his best to be whole. Over the years, we found an arrangement. You could say he outsourced his conscience to me. I would curate the contracts, navigate the murky moral waters that he was unable to fathom. He was the gun. I was the safety.
Fascinating. What an extraordinary display of trust.
It's no more than what any soldier does.
Of course. Who came up with the accident MO?
It began with a jet ejection seat, but that's a story for another time. Calls for a Cabernet.
Go ahead.
But you should find that
Glass of
ours
red, please.
distinguish
House
themselves
Cabernet.
very quickly.
Enjoy.
You want to pay attention to the sides and back of the palate to fully appreciate
Any luck
the
on that
earthier
Pinot Noir?
flavors present,
Well, I'm afraid
including
not,
signature
ma'am.
notes of firewood and mushrooms.
Let's rejoin the fun.
Whatever you say.
I happen to know a good lawyer.
What kind of high-profile targets did your man eliminate over the years? Your exploits were curiously absent from the ICA papers.
Who did you have in mind?
I know about our people. The small fish Caruso and the Santis, Strandberg and Zaydan, Ken Morgan. Yates won't be too happy about that one.
What's a bare knuckle
Your very
boxer?
own Eric Soders,
How many have
Robert
been
and
asking for it?
Sierra Knox.
At Edward's request.
I'm not judging. Call it professional interest. Let's see. You did old Janus and Cassidy. I like Cassidy. Grumpy, but I still liked him. Zoe and Sophia Washington. Athena Savalas and the Haven Trio. And finally, the partners themselves. That's not even counting the militia ringleaders. Delgado, Wazir Calais. Quite the resume.
You don't know the half of it.
President Gretchen Kurzweil. Oxygen tank malfunction? My ass.
Wrong.
Damn, I was sure about that one. How are we doing?
No suspicious activity, unless you count the pina coladas.
Anything on this Reaper character?
So far, he checks out. No irregularities. If anything, his online presence is too average. You know, medium number of posts, likes, social media connections, but no pictures. Nothing identifiable. Just food selfies and abstract art. Could suggest a sock puppet identity. Then again, he could just be ahead of the curve. What are you thinking?
Oh, I'm probably just being paranoid. Still, I think my little... Alexander Kovac, leader of the Yardbirds?
Mm-hmm.
I knew it.
Hold on, let me get a glass of wine.
You're an adult. You know your limit.
Let's head back to the party.
Fine by me. Anything to report?
Nothing outstanding, except that no one appears to be taking drugs.
Lord Winston Beldingford?
Correct.
Figured as much. Mark Faber? The Undying?
Yes.
Called it. Craig Black, author of the Cassandra Snow novels.
Mm-hmm.
Knew I had you pegged. Dino Bosco?
Correct.
I knew it. Roberta de la Cruz, Falling Chandelier. Come on.
Can't take credit for that one.
Too good to be true. Viktor Novikov and Dalia Margolis.
Yes.
Figured as much. Richard Equensi?
Mm-hmm.
Called it. Alvaro Dalvade, the opera singer.
Correct.
Knew I had you pegged. President Suleiman? There was not a cloud in the sky that day.
No.
Could have sworn. Edith Van Orten. I don't believe that was a solo accident.
Wrong.
Damn, I was sure about that one. Nikolai Kamarov. Suicide in a locked office? I think not.
I can see why you'd think that, but no.
Too good to be true. Chad Durst. Professional stuntman and daredevil slips in the bathtub? Yeah, right.
Can't take credit for that one.
Could have sworn. Reggie Sands. No way he just leaned against an open window like that.
No.
Damn, I was sure about that one. Blake Dexter?
That was a parallel universe.
Blake Dexter? Explains a lot.
Diana Burnwood. Long time no see.
Forgive me, I can't quite place you, Mr...
Reaper. Tobias Reaper. We used to work for the same company. They went under.
Ah, yes. A shame what happened, but nothing lasts forever, I suppose. Oh, but where are my manners? This is my colleague, Tamara Vidal.
Miss Vidal?
What brings you to Argentina, Reaper? Are you one of Don Yates' clients?
Client? No. I'm more of a service provider.
Right. Well, it was lovely to see you again, Tobias. Now, if you'll excuse us, Tamara and I need to mingle.
Of course.
See you around. I think you have a fan.
Hello again, Miss Burnwood. Miss Vidal.
He is a polite one, isn't he?
Oh, Mr. Reaper is in many ways a man out of time.
And what is it you do, Reaper? Don't tell me. Banker.
Corporate liquidator.
Ah, so you're the guy nobody likes.
They so rarely get a chance to know me.
Well, we really should be getting on.
Do you dance, Reaper?
I like to lose myself in a crowd.
Good. Perhaps we'll do a bit of that later. Dancing.
The night is young, Miss Vidal. Miss Burnwood, Miss Vidal, we meet again.
We do indeed. You know, I just tried befriending you on social media, but your profile appears to be blocked for requests.
In my line of work, privacy is power.
Well, you certainly do take bland, generic tourist photos like nobody's business. Why, you've got every cliched attraction known to man, from the Sphinx to the Easter Island statues, but never with you in them. Camera shy, Reaper?
I generally try to keep out of photos myself.
Right. Would you mind taking a walk, Reaper? I'd like to discuss something on the QT.
Tamara, I think you have the wrong idea.
No, please. Lead the way.
I think you have a fan. Right this way. I know a spot away from prying eyes. So, corporate liquidator. That must be exciting.
Nothing quite like it.
I bet. Weeding out the old and slow so that something new and fast may thrive.
It does seem fruitful.
Admirable. Say, do you have a business card, or are those out of style?
I don't advertise. I rely strictly on word of mouth.
I see. Only as good as your latest job, huh? Must be stressful.
It keeps me on my toes.
I bet. What was your biggest job? The biggest fish you've ever liquidated?
The next one, Miss Vidal. Always the next one.
Won't be long now. All right, no more bullshit. Who are you really?
I told you. Tobias Reaper, corporate liquidator.
Liquidator. Yes, you said. Do you take me for an idiot? Your also clever euphemisms may fool the plebs, but not me. Tobias Reaper does not exist. I was CIA. I know a half-ass sock puppet identity when I see one.
Who am I then?
I know you're Burnwood's assassin. What I don't know is why you're here or why she's covering for you, but it's off the point. You're my golden ticket to become the constant. So, are you going to admit it?
If I am who you say I am, do you really think this was your best course of action?
It's 5 against 1.
Yes. See your mistake?
Hey, you can't touch...
What happened?
Cut the crap. That was not Tobias Reaper. That was your wayward assassin. So you tell me right now why he is here and why you were covering for him. If you don't level with me, I will take this straight to Edwards.
Fine. I brought him here, Tamara, to get rid of Yates. He's not fit to be constant. You know I'm right. I just couldn't risk it if you didn't.
And who becomes constant?
As far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at her.
You won't be making a power play?
I just serve Edwards.
By deceiving him.
We are heralds. We took an oath to protect Providence against all threats. That includes his bad decisions.
No. Tempting, but no. See, you're overlooking one thing. Getting rid of Yates only puts me in the run. But capturing your agent, now, that puts me ahead of the field. I'll keep your secret, Burnwood. My gain is your gain. But your guy is going down. No offense.
I understand.
Falcon, I have a confirmed security threat. This is no drill. Over.
Confirmed. Do I take the shot? Over.
Ma'am, enjoying the party?
A bit crowded for my taste.
Have you been down to the gardens? It's remote. Quiet. You'd like it. Bring your friend.
I might just do that. She could use a bit of downtime. If only it weren't for the muscle. They follow us everywhere, I'm afraid.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Excuse me.
Say, since you're not leaving my side, would you mind slipping down to the gardens? I'm dying for a smoke, and I don't want to bother anybody.
Ah, yes. The vilification of smoking. A bit of systemic nudging and public opinion falls flat on his back. Bunch of lemmings.
Check that one out.
Anyway,
Drinking
lead
like
the
a
way.
fish.
They'll cut him off if he takes it too.
How would you like to go, Tamara?
Geez, how many have you heard?
I'm serious. You've seen death, in the CIA, as a herald. You've done some harrowing things. Don't tell me you've never thought about it.
No, not even once. I don't much care for dying. And hey, perhaps we never need to. They're doing some amazing things with reverse aging over at Ether. Just you wait and see.
And you have no guilt? You've toppled governments, changed the fate of nations, altered the lives of millions of people.
It's called history, Burnwood. It has to happen. It can't not happen. You can be behind the wheel or under it. Your choice.
It's a dangerous thing, having a conscience.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. Just something a friend told me. But humor me, Tamara. If you absolutely had to go, how would you choose?
Well, I suppose a bullet to the base of the spine. No warning. No worry.
Take the shot. Over.
Target is down. Over.
Target down. It feels different up close.
You liked her.
She had a lot to answer for, and she would have become a threat, I'm sure of that. It's just... you're not supposed to get to know them, are you? Well, better get on with it, 47. Next up, Don Yates.
You?
In my bed, many years from now, surrounded by loved ones. But I must admit, yours is more exciting. Should we head back?
By all means.
A glass of red, please.
Certainly, ma'am. May I present the House Cabernet Sauvignon? A melody of black currants and red cherries rises above a backdrop of leather and toast. On the palate, you'll taste juicy dark berry fruit, along with a trickle of sweet spice and savory plums.
I'll pass. Find me a bottle of Pinot Noir, then we'll talk.
You heard the lady. I'm sure you have a Pinot in stock somewhere. Get any tips? A glass of red, please.
House Cabernet. Enjoy.
Any luck on that Pinot Noir?
Alas, no, ma'am.
I'll pass. Find me a bottle of Pinot Noir, then we'll talk.
You should try this. Yes, ma'am. I managed to find a bottle of our 2006 Pinot Noir, inspired by wines from the Our Valley. Medium-bodied and fruit-forward, with an aroma of cherries and raspberry. It's to die for.
Pinot, you say? Maybe just one glass. Need to keep my wits about me. Now that's more to my taste. Almost Germanic.
Enjoy.
You must be Burnwood and Vidal.
And you must be Yates' garbage man.
It's a living. What's your excuse?
Well, we're all here, it seems. Except for our guide, Mr. Vargas. Suppose someone ought to fetch him.
Black, I'm looking in your direction.
Yeah? Let me know how that works out for you.
Well, this is fun.
Ah, my fellow wine lovers. Hello! Welcome to Viñeda Yates. I do apologize for the delay, but the Malbec grape is a demanding mistress. So, I am Gabriel Vargas, Chief Winemaker, and I will be your tour guide. Any questions before we start?
Yes, but you're not going to like them.
We're good. Lead the way, Senor Vargas.
Wonderful. Follow me.
Are you a wine man, Black? Somehow you don't seem the type.
Now, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades.
I see. I just thought Yates might be sending a message. My mistake.
So, have any of you been on a vineyard before?
Scrapyards are more my thing.
First stop on the tour is the production floor, where our prize-winning Malbec grapes are processed. We insist on steaming every grape by hand, which means that during harvest season, the grapes do tend to pile up. Luckily, we have plenty of storage space. Our equipment is state-of-the-art, including an industrial-sized freezer unit, and last but not least, our trusty grape crusher.
Interesting. Wouldn't you say, Mr. Black?
Follow me, please. Next on our tour is the fermentation atrium, where the wine goes through its primary stage of fermentation. In these big open tanks, yeast converts the sugars in the wine to alcohol in a process that lasts between 5 and 15 days. This is also where we squeeze the must into a fine juice using our grape presser before the longer secondary stage of fermentation.
Fascinating.
Excelente. So let's continue to the barrel room, if you'll follow me. And so we arrive to our final stop, the barrel room. This is where we store the wine during the secondary stage of fermentation. The area behind the glass is where we keep our most precious bottles, including a 1945 Grand Paladin, the most expensive wine in existence. The access doors, which are made from ballistic glass, can only be unlocked from the security room high above our heads.
Remarkable.
Ah, here comes Senor Yates now. I shall leave you in his capable hands.
How reassuring.
Ah, Miss Burnwood, is it not? Don Yates, pleased to meet you. You come very highly recommended. As Chief of the Heralds, let me be the first to say welcome aboard.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead. Very closely.
Say, that reminds me. We're about to have a little herald get-together up at the house. Just a modest toast to celebrate my forthcoming inauguration as Constant. You are, of course, most welcome to join us. I believe you shall make a fine herald, once the training wheels are off.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Capital. Right this way, into the lion's den. Oh, almost forgot. Cortazar, please nip down to the wine cellar and tell Mr. Flowers, the sommelier, to prep the 1945 Grand Paladin and bring it up to the house for our special occasion.
Got it, Chief.
Over here.
You two must be Burnwood and Vidal.
And you must be Yates's garbage man. Sorry, but I didn't catch your name.
This is Corvo Black, Tamara. He's a ICA regular.
I only work with the best.
Well, we're all here, it seems. Except for our guide, the chief winemaker. Looks like we're stuck here until someone fetches him. Mr. Black, I'm looking in your direction.
Hold on. I'll track him down.
Attaboy. Do try and bring him back in one piece. Counterintuitive as that may be.
That was a bit rude.
Yes, it was.
Ah, my fellow wine lovers. Hello! Welcome to Vineyard Yates. I do apologize for the delay, but the Malbec grape is a demanding mistress. So, I am Gabriel Vargas, Chief Winemaker, and I will be your tour guide. Any questions before we start?
Yes, but you're not going to like them.
We're good. Lead the way, Senor Vargas.
Wonderful. Follow me.
What can you tell me about this freezer?
This is an industrial cold storage unit where we keep our excess grapes stocked to prevent decay. It easily reaches temperatures of minus 10 degrees Celsius. Trust me, you don't want to stay in here for long.
No kidding. Hey, there's no doorknob on the inside. Seems like a pretty glaring safety omission, if you ask me.
Probably soundproof, too.
And good luck getting a phone signal.
Such imaginations you have. But there really is no need to worry. Why? We haven't had an accident since Mrs. Yates' dog was run over by a grape picker. Anything else you wish to know? There is really no trouble.
What can you tell me about this grape crusher?
Well, as the name implies, it crushes the steamed grapes into a thick pulp or must by a powerful rotating cylinder. She is one of the most important appliances in our production pipeline.
Have you had any workplace accidents?
What? Fall into the vat and get crushed to a pulp? You'd have to be a bona fide idiot. Waste of space, if you ask me.
Yes, well, fortunately, we have had none of that. So if there's no further questions?
No way. What can you tell me about this device? Grape presser, was it?
That is correct, senor. After primary fermentation, the mass is pressed through a fine filter, leaving only the flesh and skins behind. I should add that grape stomping, the iconic practice of crushing grapes with your bare feet, is historically rare and mostly a tourist gimmick. But you are most welcome to try. Imagine you're a grape.
Thanks. I'll pass.
Oh, go on. I'll take a picture of the three of you.
Oh, come on, Tamara. When in Rome.
Fine.
Say queso.
May I see that, Mr. Vargas? I believe I blinked.
So, this is what the little guy feels like.
No, all good. Looks like one for the mantle.
Now, are there any more questions? Don't be shy.
I'm interested in these containers.
Ah, yes. Our large fermentation tanks are constructed from solid French oak and each contain up to 500 gallons of grape must.
Interesting. Are those cooling sockets?
They are indeed, Senora. The cooling system allows us to fine-tune the entire process. Temperature, humidity levels, etc. Our goal here at Viñeta Yates is quite simple. From a state-of-the-art winemaking facility to our carefully nurtured grape stock, hand-picked with loving care by local experts, we have only one purpose: to make the best vinos in Argentina and beyond.
Well, looks like an accident waiting to happen.
Occupational hazard. Eh, Burnwood?
Excelente. So let's continue to the barrel room, if you'll follow me.
Are you enjoying yourself, Mr. Black?
Oh, it's all very inspiring.
Winemaking is a grand pursuit. Sure. Everyone talks about craft beer these days. You can make a decent IPA in your pantry. It is pedestrian.
Yeah, hey.
Oh, this, my friends, this is true grandeur. And so we arrived to our final stop, the barrel room. This is where we store the wine during the secondary stage of fermentation. The area behind the glass is where we keep our most precious bottles, including a 1945 Grand Paladin, the most expensive wine in existence. The access doors, which are made from ballistic glass, can only be unlocked from the security room high above our heads.
Remarkable.
Ah, here comes Senor Yates now. I shall leave you in his capable hands.
How reassuring.
Ah, Miss Burnwood, is it not? Don Yates, pleased to meet you. You come very highly recommended. As Chief of the Heralds, let me be the first to say welcome aboard.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead. Very closely.
Say, that reminds me. We're about to have a little herald get-together up at the house. Just a modest toast to celebrate my forthcoming inauguration as constant. You are, of course, most welcome to join us. I believe you shall make a fine herald, once the training wheels are off.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Capital. Right this way, into the lion's den. Why don't you take a break, Corvo? We're done here for now, I think. Oh, but don't go too far. I may still need your services later.
I'll be closer than you think.
Oh, almost forgot. Cortazar, please nip down to the wine cellar and tell Mr. Flowers, the sommelier, to prep the 1945 Grand Paladin and bring it up to the house for our special occasion.
Got it, Chief.
Welcome to Viñeta Yates. I'm Gabriel Vargas, Chief Winemaker.
¿Cómo estás?
I will be your tour guide. Any questions before we start?
Yes, but they're all above your pay grade.
We're good. Lead the way, Senor Vargas.
Follow me. First stop on the tour is the production floor, where our prize-winning Malbec grapes are processed. Our equipment is state-of-the-art, including a drag-in freezer unit. And last but not least, our grape crusher, industrial size for your disposal purposes.
Interesting.
Follow me, please. This is an industrial cold storage unit, useful for preventing cellular decomposition. It easily reaches temperatures of -10 degrees Celsius. Trust me, you don't want to stay inside for long.
No kidding. Hey, there's no doorknob on the inside. Seems like a pretty glaring safety omission, if you ask me.
Probably soundproof, too.
And good luck getting a phone signal.
Follow me, please. This is our grape crusher. The destemmed grapes are crushed into a thick pulp by a powerful rotating cylinder, making each grape quite impossible to ID.
Have you had any workplace accidents?
What? Fall into the vat and get crushed to a pulp? You'd have to be a bona fide idiot. Waste of space, if you ask me.
Follow me, please. Next on our tour is the fermentation atrium. In these spacious tanks, which could easily be able to contain a couple of hundred human bodies, the sugars in the wine are converted to alcohol. This is also where we squeeze the must into a fine juice using our grape presser.
Fascinating.
Come along. This is the facility's grape presser, where the freshly crushed pulp is pressed through a fine filter, leaving only the flesh and skins behind. Much more efficient than the ancient practice of grape stomping, but also less personal.
So, this is what the little guy feels like.
Our large fermentation tanks are constructed from solid French oak, and each contain up to 500 gallons of grape must. You don't want to fall in, but if you do, at least you'll die happy.
Well, looks like an accident waiting to happen.
Occupational hazard. Eh, Burnwood?
Final stop, the barrel room. Nothing dramatic, just wine biding its time. The vault next door contains our most precious bottles, but the access doors are made from ballistic glass and can only be unlocked from the security room high above our heads. So, unless you're the Sparrow, don't get any ideas.
Remarkable.
Ah, here comes Mr. Yates now. Perfect timing.
Ah, Miss Burnwood, is it not? Don Yates, pleased to meet you. You come very highly recommended. As Chief of the Heralds, let me be the first to say welcome aboard.
Why, thank you, Mr. Yates. Rest assured that I will be following your every lead very closely.
Say, that reminds me. We're about to have a little herald get-together up at the house. Just a modest toast to celebrate my forthcoming inauguration as constant. You are, of course, most welcome to join us. I believe you shall make a fine herald once the training wheels are off.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Capital. Right this way, into the lion's den. Oh, almost forgot. Cortazar, please nip down to the wine cellar and tell Mr. Flowers, the sommelier, to prep the 1945 Grand Paladin and bring it up to the house for our special occasion.
Got it, Chief.
Isn't someone else supposed to be doing this? And done. What happened to your colleague?
Urgent call. Something about work. I don't think she'll be coming back.
Oh, well. I'm sure she can find her way out. Let's proceed. Excelente. So, are you associates of Mr. Yates?
You might say we run in the same circles.
Law and order. Must be very exciting.
It's about 99% preparation.
Are you enjoying yourself, Mr. Black?
It's all very inspiring.
I could see you retired to a place like this. Winemaking speaks to your meticulous nature. Surely you don't plan to be Yates's fixer forever.
I have been told recently to think about the future.
And so we arrived to our...
They're already at it. Go on, place the wine on the table. I'll pour it.
Decant.
Pardon me, Your Majesty.
I have always considered the heralds the unspoken heroes of Providence. The nervous system, effectively and reliably trained. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Flowers, our resident sommelier. I believe he has brought us something quite special. Perhaps you will educate us, Mr. Flowers.
This is the 1945 Grand Paladin, one of only 5 bottles in existence. The vintage is legendary, a proverbial unicorn wine. The year was hot, the wine's super concentrated, and thanks to hail and frost, the production was small. only 300 bottles were ever produced. And when the vineyard was bombed during the closing days of World War II, only a single crate survived. It is said to have amazingly complex aromas with long, savory layers of fruit and spice flavors, and a silky texture. Enjoy.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Flowers. Feel free to stick around in case our guests have questions. This wine was gifted to me by the Arch Society in acknowledgement of my firm's legal services. It stands as a powerful reminder that Providence draws its strength not from force, but from partnership. We are but a few, and yet together we are unstoppable because we stand united. My friends, loyalty is everything, which is why we cannot allow traitors into our ranks.
Ah, yes. Here it comes.
This woman has waged bloody war on us. More than a dozen heralds and operatives dead. Your colleagues and clients, my friend, Ken Morgan. Not to mention the partners themselves, our founders, our benefactors. Make no mistake, this woman's hands are soaked in blood. Our blood. And Arthur Edwards, the new supreme head of Providence, is handing her the keys to the kingdom. Now, does that seem right to you, my friends? Does that sound like loyalty?
Absolutely
right.
Absolutely. Perhaps Edwards simply recognizes talent when he sees it. Perhaps this is why I am also in the running to become constant. And following this childish outburst, I dare say I am in the lead. Dawn.
You're lying, of course. Which only proves my point. You cannot be trusted, Miss Burnwood. This woman will be our downfall. That is, unless we take matters into our own hands. You are heralds, sworn to protect Providence against all threats, including inside ones. I have devised a plan. Together we can make it work, but you have to decide now, my friends. Are you with me?
I'm in.
Yes.
Yes. I agree.
Yes. Listen to yourselves. Don Yates is not even appointed constant yet. And already he conspires to betray his master. I don't pretend to understand Edward's every move, but I do know that this man is an opportunist and unworthy of office.
Then you are a traitor to the heralds. The room is against you, Tamara. Stand down now or share her fate.
Edwards will hear about this.
I think not. I am sorry, but you brought this on yourself. Mr. Cortazar? Escort Miss Burnwood to my office. I'll join you shortly.
Right. Move it. Let's go.
I'm warning you, Yates. This will not go your way.
We need to get our story straight. Diana Burnwood died today by the hand of her rogue Agent 47. Tamara Vidal, who saw through the assassin's disguise, was, alas, killed as well. This is what you will all attest to.
I'm in.
Yes.
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 I'm in.
A toast, then, in her honor. Savor the taste, because you never will again. And let me remind you, we are in this together. One goes down, we all go down. Here's to loyalty.
To loyalty.
Took you long enough. Quick! Clear the floor and get yourself a guard outfit. Yates won't be long. Good. I was beginning to worry.
Were you?
No. Listen up, 47. Yates will be here shortly. He'll have his thug courtesan do his dirty work, but he won't pass up on the chance for a good gloat and a monologue.
So, private space? Kill room decor?
Exactly. We won't get another shot at this. Now sit down and blend in. When I provide a distraction, you just be ready to move.
Corvo, pick up your damn phone. Plan B is a go. I repeat, Plan B is a go. Start prepping a crime scene, like we discussed. Remote, staged accident. Oh, and Corvo, make it for 2. Just improvise. Miss Burnwood.
You rolled out the red carpet just for me. Dawn, you shouldn't have.
So confident, even in defeat. I suppose you're not used to danger, always safe behind your screens. Just tell me one thing before we part ways.
Why me?
Why you? Why would Edwards trust you? Please. It will keep me awake at nights, and I'm 65. I get up 4 times to piss as it is.
Oh, it's simple, really. Edwards is proud. He considers himself the cleverest man alive, and yet we tricked him on Isle of Scale, and it's eating him up. He needs to win. Full, unequivocal victory. My recruitment was just the feather in his cap. By the way, you were right about one thing.
Yeah? I'm all ears.
Turns out this woman will be your downfall.
What are you doing, you asshole?
Ah, crap.
Just stand there! Shoot her!
What was that racket?
If it's any consolation, your instincts were dead on. I will be constant now. And I will make it my mission to tear down Providence brick by brick. Finish it.
Such a good boy.
Well done, 47. Better get rid of the body. Won't be long before they come looking. When you're done, meet me on the dance floor. Oh, and dress appropriately. 47.
It's done. Now what?
Now, we strike at the heart.
Edwards. You know how to find him, don't you?
Why, Edwards finds you, 47. He is untraceable, and he never lets you forget it. He is cocky, and that will be his downfall.
What's the plan?
Too many eyes. Meet me at the olive grove at sunset. One last tango, 47.
Don't let my wife find me like this.
This wine really takes advantage of them.
You've never dropped a glass in your entire life, I expect.
I'm sure you'll know.
It's practically a dessert.
You have very steady hands.
Our Malbec.
You have a Pinot in stock somewhere. Get any tips?
Malbec. Notorious.
Already.
Touché.
Do I know you, Mr.
Touché. You're barking up the wrong tree, pal. Not interested.
Ready.
Touché. Can I help you? Touché. Do you mind? Private conversation.
Already.
Touché.
Are you lost, Mr. Already.
Touché. Get lost, pal. Nothing to see here.
All business, even at a party. You must be a professional. You look like a true professional. I feel much safer with you gentlemen around. You've been doing this kind of work for a while, haven't you?
Don't toy toy with me. At least do me the courtesy of showing me why Diana kept you around. Are you trying to prove a point, or is this sport for you? What are you waiting for me to say? That we're not so different? We are. You're just a bullet. You're not even the whole gun. You live for this, don't you, 47?
Miss Kensington, Diana Burnwood, we met in the Black Pyramid?
Ah, yes, the herald. You're new too, if I'm not mistaken. I suppose we're both getting the lay of the land.
Suppose so. How are you settling in as head of Dynasty Global?
All I managed so far is redecorating my office. Did you know I was in the building when Mr. Pierce was thrown off the roof? I even passed his killer, Mr. Donovan, in the hallway. There's no way I could just sit in Rupert's chair after what happened.
Quite understandable. But the terrorists are all dead now, and we need to look towards the future. Providence is changing, and you're an intrinsic part of that change, Miss Kensington.
It's the best show in town. I'm in.
Glad to hear it. Mr. Quinn, Diana Burnwood, we met in the Black Pyramid.
Ah, Bronson's replacement. Cool. Good to meet you in reality. I'm told the troubles are finally over. How about it? Can I finally go back to the office? I didn't pay $2 billion for that infinity-shaped glass monstrosity just to strut around Big Sur in my boxers.
Everything is under control. The ringleaders have all been neutralized, and we haven't had a single attack in months. It's time to look forward.
Providence 2.0. Don't worry, I already drank the Kool-Aid. If this gets the FTC and the EU Commissioner for Competition off my back, I'm all game.
I'm preaching to the choir, then. We'll be in touch, Mr. Quinn.
Hey, if you ever find that poor bastard Bronson, let me know, okay? I'll pay for the funeral.
Dolores?
Why, Diana Burnwood, as I live and breathe.
I thought you were dead.
Eric Sodas forced me out on my arse after that whole Christmas party crack-up. Self-righteous prick. How is it my fault that my shit-for-brains agent decides to get cute and imitate your guy, huh?
He did manage to kill everybody except for the target.
Don't you start, too. Anyway, even after I retired, I figured the agency might be petty enough to slip some lead into my diet, so I faked my death, took on a new identity, and got the frag out of Dodge. Been living it up in the Seychelles ever since. Couldn't believe my luck when I saw my old name in the data leak. Figured I was the only one of us still at large. Of course, I suppose now I know who took a shit in ICA's oatmeal. Good for you, dear.
It wasn't... Well, it's complicated.
It was good to see you, Diana. Oh, and if you see that agent of yours, tell him to stop showing off. Accidents and death traps, ridiculous.